Topping today's news, Prime Minister Davis breaks his silence on the New York court ruling on Bahamar dispute. The Minister of Labor talks about the unemployment numbers recently released. The government introduces a new Urban Renewal Authority bill, and another man shot on the same street of Monday's triple shooting. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jcn Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It's a pleasure to have you join us. Prime Minister Philip Davis has broken his silence over the $1.6 billion New York Supreme Court ruling in favor of Soccer's Ismailian against the China Construction America Company in a dispute over Bahamar. After saying he had referred the matter to the Attorney General's office for review before the government makes any decisions or comments, on Wednesday, Mr. Davis told reporters that the ruling would have no impact on investor confidence in the Bahamas, in light of comments made by Ismailian, who suggested there was some level of government involvement or corruption to help in the takeover of his project. Mr. Davis says, "We'll have to wait and see how it plays out in the American courts, as CCA says it will appeal the ruling." While making a communication in the House of Assembly on Wednesday, Minister of Labor and Public Service Pia Glover-Roll highlighted the progress the country is making in its feat against the high unemployment numbers. She spoke to the recent findings of the Bahamas National Statistical Institute Quarterly Labor Force Survey for 2024. According to the data, unemployment numbers are the lowest they've been in 16 years. However, Glover-Roll expressed concern with the number of discouraged workers still in the country.
Shortly after returning to the Bahamas, I was greeted by the news of a 1.2% decrease in the unemployment rate, bringing it down from 9.9% to 8.7%, which is the lowest. This is the lowest unemployment rate in 16 years, Mr. Deputy, and it's proof. It's proof, if any is needed, that efforts of this Davis administration to bring over $10 billions in new investments to support local businesses, to develop pro-growth policies, and to enact key labor reforms and initiatives is working. Amen. However, Mr. Deputy, I must note the rate of discouraged workers remains too high, and we want to bring them back into the workforce.
Additionally, the Labor Minister said it is the government's aim to ensure that the employment rate continues to decline. These goals, she said, are achievable.
We also want to continue to bring the unemployment rate lower, and both of these goals can only be accomplished through training and education to enhance the employability of segments of our population that are currently unemployable. Fortunately, through our expansion of offerings through the National Training Agency, through new initiatives like the upcoming National Apprenticeship Program, through partnerships with local tertiary-level institutions like BTVI and University of the Bahamas, and through conversations with international universities like those we met with recently at the Department of Labor via the Charlotte Knowles Thompson Scholarship Agency, we can develop effective professional development, soft skills development, and workforce readiness programs and certificate courses to raise the employability levels of our labor force.
Minister Glover-Roll also announced the completion and submission of the first draft of the Labor Legislative Reform White Paper. She said the second draft will be ready in a few weeks.
By focusing on urgent home repairs, we are addressing both immediate physical needs and long-term social stability. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the Urban Renewal Authority Bill addresses one of the most critical components of the program, grants and loans for residential repairs. Clause 14 outlines how grants may be provided for the community programs, while Clause 15 specifies the circumstances under which grants may be extended for urgent home repairs.
Minister of Housing and Urban Renewal Keith Bell led debate in the House of Assembly on the historic Urban Renewal Authority Bill 2024. In addition to solidifying urban renewal as a sector of the government to ensure it is built to withstand any changes in government, the Urban Renewal Authority will also be empowered with the ability to establish a program that will assist residents in the inner city community with minor home renovations through grants and loans. The Minister Bell, explains.
The Small Home Repairs Program has received some 4,482 applications from homeowners seeking assistance in the province, and some 700 applications throughout our family islands. 618 of these have come from the province alone, and 954, with of course, 954 approved contractors. In the province, some 1,006 homeowners have already met the requirement for repair homes. Meanwhile, in the family islands, 328 homeowners have been approved.
Minister of State for Housing and Urban Renewal, Lisa Ramming, also expressed her excitement for the new bill and how it will assist in future community building initiatives. And finally, in this segment, in light of the recently tabled law for urban renewal, the Urban Renewal Authority Bill, opposition leader, Marco City Member of Parliament Michael Pintard, is scrutinizing the structure of urban renewal and questioning the effectiveness of the program over the years. He is challenging the government to explore the program's results statistically and go back to the drawing board. He spoke to reporters outside of the House of Assembly.
Unfortunately, urban renewal today in the Bahamas is not structured in that way to accomplish that mission. What you have, unfortunately, is an absence of urban planners in urban renewal. Architects who are working on reimagining what Over the Hill will look like. We still have a case of a disproportionate amount of senior persons who live in Over the Hill communities are struggling with housing insecurity. There's still too many houses with no inside plumbing, lack of electricity. 4 or 5 houses being constructed in one home and sanitary conditions being tough for residents. So we need to get serious about having a master plan of what Over the Hill is going to look like.
Additionally, Mr. Pintard continued his assertion during his contribution in Parliament as he challenged the government to get real about the circumstances Bahamians are facing throughout the inner city. You're listening to JCN News. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.